Biden administration's foreign policy is in shambles. Global flashpoints around the world endanger not just America's standing, but American lives. Dr. Shea wants us to listen to something Secretary Pompeo said about this.
So there are four fronts where this administration has completely lost the deterrence model that the Trump administration had in place. And for Americans, for people that live all across our country, this presents an enormous amount of risk, not only to Eastern Europe and Ukraine, to the people of Taiwan, but the Iranian people, the Israelis that could suffer if the Iranians should get a nuclear weapon, and certainly what happens on the Korean Peninsula is very dangerous. They're all a sign of American weakness. These are the kind of things bad guys do when an American president won't stand up for our country.
Dr. Shea, what can we learn from this?
Well, the Biden administration has abandoned a model of deterrence that the Trump administration used, and that endangers the United States and our allies. We use deterrence to put pressure on our adversaries and change their behavior, which ultimately saves lives. Two examples among many that the Trump administration used was Secretary Pompeo, head of the State Department, which had excellent results using this model of deterrence. In Afghanistan, you know that President Trump actually wanted to pull out of Afghanistan in January 2017, but they withdrew troops little by little, using conditions of deterrence in order to do it that had to be met by the Taliban. The Taliban knew that if they acted in some way against the United States, we would respond, and we did. So what was the result? The last 13 months of the Trump administration, not even a single American was attacked, let alone killed. Contrast that with the Biden administration pulling out recklessly, and we lose at least 13 Americans and many more allies. If you look at Ukraine right now, you know, putting this in perspective, Putin has actually wanted Ukraine back for decades. So he didn't put 130,000 troops, though, on the border, did he, under the Trump administration? But why now? Because he knows that he has free reign during the Biden administration. So these are examples of how deterrence works, and we've got to look right now at what's going on. The U.S. has gone back to the negotiation table with the Iranians, trying to get them back into the Iranian nuclear deal that Trump got us out of in 2015. And how are they going back? With they have not enforced sanctions already in place, and they are also offering more concessions. So what we're doing here is encouraging bad behavior.